Guys, deluded. YouTube's Lucas Torreira. I'm back again. Manchester City have just beaten us 2-0. So Manchester City 2, Arsenal 0 in our first game at home. Different manager, same problems. At least, they're still here. One player is you're gonna hear a lot of people talking in extremes about his performance. Matteo Guendouzi. You've already heard. People went from criticising Arsenal signing him. We need this midfield general. We need that. Guendouzi, who it's all right if you didn't know a player. I don't know every player, but long back short. Just a quick plug. If you have been following me long enough, you know I knew about Guendouzi. But fast forward to pre-season, everybody was ranting and raving. He's a must to start in the thing, and we need him to start and this and that. To which you remember me telling you guys, I said it in the start when he signed for us. I've said that in the video when he was linked with Spurs, and I spoke about it, and I've said it time and time again. He is closer to the first team in regards to starting and holding down a regular spot than you think, but he is not as close as some of the pedestals you're putting him on, and he showed that today. Some people think he was the best player on the pitch today in regards to Arsenal, and that's fine. I guess he has some case, but if I'm looking at his performance as someone that loves the man and wants him to do better, the one thing I would say out of the good he did, we have to speak about the bad first before it context is that the bad, naivety. You don't, the good thing, in fact, the good thing about games like this, which I've said, we need him, Maitland-Niles, Nelson, Holding. They need to continuously play games like this because these are the games you learn stuff. You need games where you're physically challenged, where you're ripped in terms of technical ability, where you don't have much time on the ball. You saw the dramatic, how much time he had in pre-season on the ball. Guendouzi did well in possession on the ball today, but when pressed, you did see him give the ball away cheaply. You did see him invite unnecessary pressure. You did see some hospital passes. Xhaka did twice as much as him, so when I'm not getting at him, but these are the certain things. Defensively, at times he vacated the position. I did like how he was brave. Regardless of these mistakes, he still provided an option to receive it off check and the centre halves and the fullbacks. He still put a foot in. He still flew about. But you saw a lot of how unpolished he is, and you can't expect him to be polished. He's only played an X amount of games in the second division in France, so it's commendable that that was his last performance in the second division, and he started, arguably, off the basis of last year, because they were the league winners, the biggest game in our fixture list so far. So he did quite well, and it's a great show of faith for Nuno Emery, and he probably deserved to stay on because he had around 64, 65 touches, the most touches on the ball against some senior players. But he showed his naivety, like I said, silly fouls in areas that costs us, inviting pressure, at times could have released the ball quicker, get your head up a bit quicker. The bit which probably irritated me the most, he was last man, him and Ozil essentially. I think he was the last man. Similar to last season with Bellerin. Ball, I think it was a corner, the ball's cleared out. If you're the last man, your first touch has to be perfect. You either head that, clear that, or you make sure you're on some Zidane thing, bring the ball down and it's all comfy. Because if not, it's peak. You saw what happened. It was a sloppy touch. Him and Ozil were trying to break to get back. I know Ozil doesn't defend. He's the deepest man defending here, people. Sergio Aguero doesn't have his shooting boots on and he should score. Them finishes there are bread and butter finishes for Sergio, and it should have been 3-0 today. Czech done supremely well to save the shot, I guess. And what more can you say from that? He went out of jail. Guendouzi was what I liked is the bravery. How you see a player is how this is what I mean when it's not going well for them. How you see how good a player is. I said it when of course I'm not comparing Guendouzi to Pogba, but Pogba against Chelsea a couple of years ago when United lost, I said it then, and I'm saying it the same with Guendouzi. When things are not going right, when your first touch is awful, when nothing's going right, that's when you see the character of a player, and that's what makes a player. Guendouzi Pogba still got on the ball in that at Stamford Bridge, but back to Guendouzi, he still tried to get on the ball. He still tried to do these passes. One hand, you want him to kind of rein it in a bit and balance and show some consistency, but you like that. How many youngsters shy away? I don't want to dig out any youngsters, but a lot of youngsters have made their debut in the last 18 months, specifically a certain one that played at the Emirates Cup, who I've got a lot of time for, shy away when these things happen. So maybe that's because he's more experienced technically than them, that this is why it's happened, but it's good. It's good how I saw him talking to Emery. It's good how I saw him getting little pointers and things. Do I feel him and Maitland-Niles when he was on the pitch could have been backed up a bit with the senior players, considering that Maitland-Niles isn't a left back and this is Guendouzi's first game? Sure. Would I have probably started Guendouzi? No, but he deserved to start, and to be honest, I wouldn't say it's a show of faith by the man because he didn't have a good game in my opinion, but by the other logic, he was one of the better players and he stood up to be counted, and I'm actually happy that to a degree that Unai Emery kept him on because it's a show of faith. I'd probably remove him out of the side for next week, but it's a difficult one because If you're looking, he deserves to start. But if you're looking at it, Torreira's got to be brought in, and between Guendouzi played better than Ramsey and Xhaka quite clearly. But if you just pick them three together, you're having a hard time justifying if any of them deserves to start at Stamford Bridge. If I'm honest with you, he lost control a lot of times unnecessarily. To be honest with you, so Xhaka, don't get it wrong. I still can't mistake. I still don't know if it's Matteo Guendouzi or Xavi, but we need to take time with the man. And I've said this. He will have great games. He'll have bad games. It's still consistency. And the mainest thing is he saw today how quick you have to react in regards to what's happening on the field, how quickly you have to make your mind up in regards to doing things. You have next to no time to think. And as a midfielder, the best midfielders are the ones that do things in the least amount of time. Look at Kroos, Iniesta, Xavi. Obviously, if he goes the way I would love him to be, he'll be spoken about with them names, but they're naturally who he aspires to be, I suppose. Give or take, they're all different, but they're all centre mids and midfielders and things like that. They're reacting quicker, they're thinking quicker, they're doing things quicker. You don't have time on the ball. Clearly, he's a man who's very cultured on the ball. He loves it and he's comfortable, and that's the principles we want to see. And I'm very confident about him in that regard. But it's about balance, people. And you saw today, people will speak in extremes. On one hand, people will let him hide behind, not even let him hide because it's not him, but will hide behind the fact that he was one of the better players in a bad bunch. I mean, come on, man. If a mango's spoiled, but it's the least spoiled one in a barrel of mangoes, does it still make it a better mango? It don't, does it necessarily? So, yeah. People will speak in extremes. To some people, he's overrated, he's this, he's that, and he's the third, as you'll see with other club fans running bants like they are on my WhatsApp phone. I don't know, I can't even call you them things there. But you get where I'm going, people, man. You go again. He did, for me, he put a good account of himself. There's a lot he can learn from and things like that. These are the games you learn from. The games you learn from are not the Cardiff at home where I bet we probably beat them 2-3. God, please don't let this come back to bite me saying that. But you get where I'm going. There's nothing to say, much more to say on that front. Guys, deluded, get in the comments, subscribe and do the rest if you wish. I'm out. Thank you for watching, peeps.